raising some awareness about a lot of dangers, a lot of things happening around the state right now.
Severe weather, and we had some local wildfires. Speaking of the severe weather, we had tornado reports, funnel cloud reports, we had some wind reports, hail reports, and flooding reports, mostly in southeast New Mexico. There was a reported tornado just south of Tucumcari near Quay, and also near Broadview, just to the north and also west of Clovis, and also a funnel cloud reported near Roswell. Even a funnel cloud that was actually reported in places like Santa Fe with hail reports as well, but these were official reports around I-40 near Tucumcari and around Roswell, and another wind report as well in places like Lee County. So very, very stormy weather yesterday, but calmer conditions this morning and better conditions, clear conditions. We saw clouds and thunderstorms off in the distance yesterday morning at this time. We're not seeing that this morning. And our current air temperature a little bit lower compared to yesterday at this time at the Sunport, 55 degrees with a 55% relative humidity value and a little bit of a pesky northerly wind at 10 miles per hour. So a little bit breezy this morning around the Sunport and a little bit less breezy elsewhere. 45 Sandia Park, 35, pretty chilly with calmer winds in Moriarty, 42 in Edgewood, 55 Rio Rancho, and 49 in Los Lunas. 57, one of the warmer spots right now in the South Valley and across New Mexico. Temperatures not that bad for this time of year. Taos at the regional airport, 34, 46 in Santa Fe, even a cooler morning in Las Vegas, 38 with very high humidity, 47 in Clayton, 52 Tucumcari, 64 in Carlsbad, 42 Grants, 52 right now in Farmington. And there's that line separating the dry air to the west, the humid air at east. That dry line around the Central Mountains, a little bit west toward the Rio Grande Valley, even parts of the Four Corners. Very high humidity in Clayton, Tucumcari, where it did rain yesterday, and some patchy fog not out of the realm of possibility. Meanwhile, very dry in Socorro, even drier in Las Cruces with very low relative humidity values. Again, rain-free this morning. See that counterclockwise spin? That's a upper level low pressure system, a weak one moving through the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, moving into Kansas. We'll see more chances of rain today because of more low level moisture and upper level moisture moving in from the Four Corners. Temperatures only a little bit higher compared to yesterday. 80 in Albuquerque, right around 83, 84 today. High 60s and 70s from Las Vegas and Raton, including Santa Fe. 80s in the Four Corners from much of the Four Corners region, and 80s in southeast New Mexico with high humidity will be contrasting to the 80s and low 90s in southwest New Mexico with drier weather in places like Las Cruces and Alamogordo. Temperatures pretty seasonal for this time of year in Albuquerque, 84 degrees, mostly sunny and warm. And a little bit less humid out there. Again, a humid morning, but a drier afternoon in the Rio Grande Valley. But that moisture will remain in eastern and southern New Mexico with a marginal to slight risk of severe weather from Tucumcari to Roswell, especially near Carlsbad and Hobbs. That slight risk meaning at least a few storms are likely going to become severe with, once again, damaging winds as a possibility. Hail, flooding, and even an isolated tornado or two. So again, when thunder roars, go indoors. Watch out for some of those stronger storms, even around the burn scars in the Sacramento Mountains, something we'll keep an eye on, as well as a few isolated showers and rumbles of thunder in the northern mountains. Albuquerque, very likely, even more likely than yesterday, to be rain-free. We didn't see much in the way of any rain in the Albuquerque metro. Some of those stronger storms will be actually after sunset, moving through Carlsbad and Hobbs later this evening, the early overnight, with leftover showers as well in the northeast highlands. Tomorrow morning, we start to clear out with some lingering clouds, some patchy fog, and then more thunderstorms tomorrow in parts of the Rio Grande Valley, and especially along the central mountains, the northeast highlands, and also wind-driven accumulating hail, something that we'll really have to watch out for. Slower mover storms because of the slower moving jet stream. So again, that low-level moisture in place, that dry land will propagate to the west, meaning far to the west next few days, slightly higher chances of rainfall. Most of the moisture in the mountains, a little bit drier in the upper levels in southern New Mexico. As that dry line then starts to move farther back to the east the next several afternoons, off to the east is where most of the thunderstorms will form, and severe thunderstorms at that around Tucumcari to Carlsbad and Hobbs. Again, something we'll keep an eye on for the next several afternoons. Places like Durango, temperatures mostly on the rise ahead, lows generally in the high 30s and 40s, including Pagosa Springs, Alamosa. So I think chances of rain will only really start to increase by the weekend. More on that just a bit. Farmington, Gallup, and Cuba. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s, eventually 80s and the 90s. Camado, high 70s. Glenwood, 80s. Deming, low to mid 90s. By the way, some patchy and blowing dust with the elevated fire weather risk. Again, we've been talking about fire weather And all it takes is a lightning bolt to spark up with the dry soil conditions, some fire conditions. Something we'll keep an eye on as well in southeast New Mexico. Ruidoso in the 70s, Cloudcroft 60s, chances of isolated storms. Clayton, Raton, and Mora, more chances of rain for the next several afternoons. From the Enchanted Circle to Santa Fe in the 60s and 70s. More chances of rain this weekend. Moriarty, Cedar Crest to Rio Rancho, Belen, and Albuquerque. Temperatures on the rise throughout the weekend and then dropping by early next week. Rain eventually more likely.
All right, waiting for that rain. Thanks a lot, Ryan.